Streetworks organization talking about some of their activities dealing with this particular disease. And of course, Mr. Williams, I think that we promised both you and Mr. Davis that we'd give you an opportunity during this last segment to talk about some of the things that you think that our audience ought to be interested in terms of how we might be able to deal with this particular disease. And of course, Mr. Davis, let's start with you.
Okay. Well, I think that people should know that HIV is not a death sentence anymore. And HIV is not necessarily a taboo topic. They talk about sex in music, and you see it on music videos and on TV shows and whatnot. And I think that we need to end the stigma and the taboo surrounding it, so we can get to educating those of us who may be putting themselves at risk at a much higher rate. I think that just the ignorance of us not having the proper education and knowledge about the virus is what's keeping it going the way it is. What we're trying to do now at Streetworks in the prevention department, we're trying to engage the entire community. So what we're going to try to do in the next few weeks or so, we're going to try to engage persons who may own shops, beauty shops, barber shops, different nail shops. These type of people who I've come in contact with on a constant basis said that they would be willing to help us get the message out. So we're going to try to engage the entire community, hopefully educate small segments at a time, get this conversation going to where it won't be as taboo to talk about it. Try to, and dealing with this segment of the population, we may reach a lot more youth. And I think that's going to be important as well, because if we start with the youth, as they get older, they'll continue to teach back to younger, as well as talk among themselves about this this growing problem that we have with the HIV and AIDS.
And of course, we've had it with us long enough up until now to have really created a large number of individuals who ought to be more familiar with what this disease is all about. But I would imagine, as you indicated, if you go into some of your local schools or whatever and ask about it, they really don't have that much information in reference to it. Now, do you think that that the educational facilities, institutions are putting enough emphasis upon teaching this in the schools and the colleges and etc.? I think you indicated that you were in college and you've never heard anybody say anything. What do you think about that?
Well, I think the major issue behind that is when you talk about HIV and AIDS, you have to talk about sex. And sex talk in schools and college campus has kind of been eliminated. And one of the biggest issues surrounding that is people don't want to talk about being responsible. You have to be responsible. You're going to engage in sex. That's how we got here. We all procreated, you know. And one of the things you have to do is be responsible when you engage in sex. You got to use preventive measures. You got to use the condoms. And don't be afraid to get tested. Men, we have a big issue with getting tested. I know myself, when I was in college, I wasn't going to the health department. I wasn't going down there every month. I was like, okay, I got a girl on the side, and when she clean, I'm clean. But that's not how it is, you know. We should go get tested and make sure that we are okay, and make sure that our partners are getting tested, and limit our partners and engage in more monogamous relationships, because a monogamous relationship will help prevent some of this too. And then we have the people who are doing things, they call them the down low brothers or whatever, and they have to keep it a secret.
Now, what do you mean? And I think we've heard, and we've got about 6 minutes here. Let's talk about that. We've heard about people being on the down low and et cetera, and a lot of terms that are associated. Tell us, what does that mean exactly? What are these? What are we saying?
Okay, when you speak about the down low brother, it's the guy that has sex with female, has a female partner, but also engaged in sex with males, but doesn't want anyone to know. He's the one that isn't secure in his sexuality enough to let people know that, yeah, I'm having sex with men and I'm having sex with women. And because of this issue, that's spreading the virus from between the man and between the woman, and it's going and it's making the virus just rapidly increase. I've had several clients myself that once I sit them down and it's just me and them talking, they're like, yeah, I have sex with men and women. But when I'm around, when I first come in contact with them and the doctor's still in there,
they deny it.
I'm heterosexual 100%.
And so there's a stigma even attached to that heterosexual and homosexual relationship.
Right. And that comes from not talking. That comes from being afraid to broach the subject, period. I mean, that's even goes